All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to this week's college football review. As you can tell, I'm a little hoarse this morning. It's not from being out in the rain last night during Halloween. It's from screaming my head off at the end of the Miami game last night. If you missed it, you missed a great one. And, you know, to me, obviously it was great to me. I'm a Miami fan, but it was a great finish. Great finish. We'll get into that in a minute. We're going to go over some quick scores, and then we'll talk about a few things. All right, let's go to Thursday night. Number 5, TCU beats West Virginia 40-10. Trayvon Boykin, 388 yards. North Carolina beats number 23 Pittsburgh 26-19. That's it for Pitt being in the top 25. So, you know, that was short-lived. On the Saturday games, number 3 Clemson, North Carolina State, 56-41. Not a lot of defense there. But Clemson was able to put up a lot of points when they needed to. Number 8, Stanford, late game last night, struggled with Washington State. Stanford looked sluggish. It was raining. Stanford obviously has some type of issue with their offense when it's raining. I guess a lot of people do, but they really do. 30-28, they end up winning to hold on to their spot in the top 10. All right, number 9, Notre Dame, barely beat number 21 Temple, 24-20. This game was a close game, a good game. Temple played way over their head in this game. Really thought Notre Dame probably should have lost this game. I don't think Notre Dame's as good as they want to make them out to be, but they're Notre Dame, and they're always going to make them out to be better than they are, and that's just the way it is. So,
they got Jesus on their side.
Yeah, Leanne said they got Jesus on their side. All right, number 10, Iowa, 31-15, continues their march, stays in the top 10, I'm sure. Iowa looks pretty good. I don't think they're going to be, you know, in the talk at the end of the year, but they look well. Number 11, Florida beats the crap out of Georgia, 27-3. You know, this is a big rivalry game, Florida-Georgia. Wasn't nothing to it. Trayon Harris, 8 for 19, 155 yards. Sloppy game. Florida put up a couple scores in the middle of the game, and really they just kind of maintained for the rest of the game. Wasn't much to it. Really.
Georgia will get rid of their coach.
Yeah, Georgia. Leanne says Georgia's going to get rid of Mark Richt. I don't think they are. I don't think they will. I don't think they're going to get rid of him, because if they're not going to get rid of him, or if they're going to get rid of him, why not have, you know, did it before now? It's obvious that, you know, he's terrible. I've voiced my opinion on him before, that I think he's wasted more talent at Georgia than probably any coach anywhere ever. You know, and every year he's got an excuse. Every year he's got some major running back or wide receiver or quarterback that goes down with an injury, and it's like his excuse for the way his year turning out. Do a segment on what?
On his excuses.
Yeah, Mark Richt excuses for sucking, and he sucks. And they talking about, oh, well, you know, if Georgia fires him, we can get him in Miami. We don't want him in Miami. All right, number 12, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, 70-53. Where is the defense? It was not there. Patrick Mahomes, 480 yards passing. This was arena football stuff right here. Number 13, Utah puts away Oregon State, 27-12. Nothing really to talk about there. Number 14, Oklahoma beats Kansas, 62-7. I'm kind of with what Kirk Herbstreit said about Oklahoma as far as the Big 12 goes. There's no defense in the Big 12. Obviously, we just talked about it with the Oklahoma State game. Oklahoma does have a decent defense. So don't be surprised if they're not still there at the end of the year, being talked about a little bit as far as Big 12 goes. Number 15, Michigan puts away Minnesota, 29-26. Hard-hitting game. Number 15, Memphis rolls on 41-13 over hapless Tulane. Paxton Lynch continues on his Heisman Trophy march, 26 for 42, 343 yards with a touchdown. I'm saying it again, 3 weeks in a row, Paxton Lynch, Heisman Trophy winner probably. Florida State, 45, Syracuse 21. Florida State meets Clemson next week. It's going to be a head knocker. Number 18, Houston, 34-0 over Vandy. I'm finna start eating some crow with what I said about Houston a couple weeks ago. They look pretty decent. Ole Miss beats Auburn. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
27-19.
We should have won that game.
No, you shouldn't have won that game.
Yeah, we should.
What did you see that made you think y'all should have won that game?
We just should have won the game. I don't know. I'm discouraged.
You should be discouraged. I would be discouraged too. I'd be on the Hosey Weaver Bridge thinking about jumping off as an Auburn fan right now. I'm not going to lie to you. All right. Number 24, UCLA loses Colorado. Beats Colorado, 35-31. That rounds out the top 25 from what I see. All right. To the Miami game. Listen, Miami played Duke last night. I know it don't mean nothing. It's Miami and Duke. I mean, if this was basketball, if this was the Final Four, we'd probably be all jacked up, blah, blah, blah. What nothing to it except, as most of you know, Miami's coach got fired this week. He's, Al Golden got ran off last Sunday.
Which is a good thing.
Which was a good thing. It was good. It was as my mom would say, it was an answer to prayer. Really wanted Miami. Miami needed a good showing this week. Got in a head knocker game with Duke.
Officials got involved.
To say the officials got involved in this would be, it was terrible. Lost control of the game, in my opinion. The officials lost control of the game, especially during Duke's last drive. Let me give you some quick numbers here. Miami had 196 yards in penalties. Exactly, 196 yards in penalties. I don't even think that you can commit that many penalties in a game. I don't know what was going on between Miami and the officials. I don't know if the players were running their mouth. I don't know if there was some jaw jacking going on. I don't know. All I know is it got out of hand. Some crazy calls was made. Anyway, Duke scores 6 seconds, or they supposedly score with 6 seconds. A lot of people don't even think the guy got in the end zone. They kick off to Alabama's time's running out. Miami's time's running out. Miami does 8 laterals. 8 laterals, gets down the field, scores. There was flags on the field. Looked like maybe one of Miami's players were actually down when he lateraled the ball, blah, blah, blah. Officials have a 9-minute delay trying to decide what to do. End up giving the game to Miami. It was ugly. I'm glad we had the win. I was screaming my head off. I'm sure the neighbors may have called the police, all that kind of stuff. Ugly, ugly, ugly game. The officials really let it get completely out of control. I'm glad we got the win, but it was ugly. It was ugly. I want to talk about something real minute. I got a few minutes here. I want to go over something real quick with y'all. Earlier this week, many of y'all may listen to Paul Feinbaum. Paul's been on the radio out of Birmingham for quite some time now. Picked up by ESPN a couple years ago, not because he's worth a damn, not because he's any good, but because basically ESPN bought out the SEC network and Paul Feinbaum was attached to it. Paul Feinbaum, after the firing of Al Golden, comes on his radio talk show Wednesday and basically says that if Miami can't get their crap straight with this new coach, they need to shut down their football program, that the fans are delusional, blah, 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 blah. Basically just slams Miami. I don't have no issue with what Feinbaum said. He caught a lot of flack for it. He didn't back down. He stood his ground. He kind of, he tried to crawfish a little there when he realized how much heat he was getting. But I don't think he was far off. But I think if he would have explained himself, maybe some people would have understood better what he's saying. So what I'm going to do is I'm fixing to give you some numbers and try to explain to you what Paul Feinbaum should have been saying to you the other day, or what's going on with Miami University. Miami University is a private college. That's right. Most of y'all don't even know that. It's not a state-run college. It is a private college. I'm going to compare Miami to Alabama, not because it's a good comparison, but because a lot of y'all are very familiar with Alabama's program, so it'll give you a point of relation. Miami's average football attendance, this is an average football attendance, is the highest it's ever been was 2002 with 69,000 people. Right now, we average about 47,000 fans a game. The student population enrolled in the school is a little over 16,500 kids. Compare those numbers to what you have going on in Alabama right now. The student enrollment is somewhere around 36,500 kids. They average over 101,000 fans per game. So what does that compute to? Why am I giving you those numbers? Because on average, every year, Miami's athletic department usually makes, after they've paid everything off, they clear about $1 million, 1.9, close to $2 million a year in profit. That's all. That's all. Alabama clears somewhere around $33 to $35 million a year in sheer profit just from football alone. There is a huge gap between schools like Miami and schools like Alabama and Michigan, Texas, the huge programs, huge enrollments. I'm not saying automatically if your school has a huge enrollment, it's going to have a successful football program. Obviously, South Florida University proves that's not true. But what Paul Feinbaum should have did what I just did, gave you some basic numbers, explained to you what's going on, explained to you why Miami can't build a stadium on their campus, why their stadium's an hour away. The reason it's an hour away for two reasons. One, we have no room on our campus. It's sitting in the middle of Miami, of Coral Gables, in the middle of the city. We have nowhere to build a stadium. We had the Orange Bowl directly by the university. The city of Miami lied to us, tore the Orange Bowl down because it was old, and built Marlin Stadium on that site, all right, to make money. And that's a huge loss. It's not working out. So we're playing in Pro Player Stadium, which is an hour away. We have, we don't have the room, and we don't have the money. We're a private college. Miami is a private. I say we're. I didn't go there, but I'm a fan. It's a private college. People don't realize this. We don't have $6 million to pay a coach like Alabama does or like Michigan does. We don't have it don't work. That's what has made what Miami has done in the last 30 years so amazing. It's what has made what Miami's done since 1980 till now extraordinary. It would be the equivalent if University of South Alabama walked out there in 10 years and started winning national championships in football and continued to win them. That would be the equivalent of what Miami has done over the last 35 years. Most people don't even realize that. They don't even realize the size of the school and that they don't have no income hardly. It's a medical college, for God's sake. It's a medical college. So Paul Feinbaum going after Miami's fan base and going after the way the college looks and the way things are done there was I think was cheap. I think it was a crappy move on his part. Miami has problems, but their problems is not because they don't have the fan base. Their problem is because they're a very small school. There are smaller schools. I had a guy tell me the other day on the internet when I was talking about this, Notre Dame's a private college and they don't have them problems. Yeah, but Notre Dame has the backing of the entire Catholic Church. A little bit different. And a lot of schools are going through what Miami's going through right now. You're not hearing a lot about it because they've not won 5 national championships in the last 35 years like Miami's done. That's what's different with Miami. So keep all this in mind the next time you hear somebody bashing Miami. It's a lot of attitude there. Yeah, there's a lot of strutting and carrying on. They got their own way of doing things. I get it. Yeah. But what they've done in the last 35 years with that football program has been amazing. With the size and what they've had to do it with, it's been amazing. That's all I got this week. It kind of went over a little bit. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Leanne, I'm sorry about your Auburn Tigers again. Stay off bridges today. Don't drive over any. Don't stop for sure. If you do, you're just gonna. I don't think it. Temptation. It's gonna be too much for you. Y'all gonna get straight. You're gonna be all right. Got a good-looking young quarterback. I think you're gonna be fine. I think Gus will get straight.
Get in there for a couple of years.
Most champs not. His defense is down in Florida beating everybody's brakes off right now. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, give him a couple of years. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Good coaching staff will be fine. Listen, everybody have a good, safe week. I hope you remember to turn your clocks back. Listen, I love all of y'all. No matter what your team is, keep flying your colors. Have a drink this week if you get a chance. It's for me and mine. We're all about to you. Peace, people. I love you.